Welcome back to What's Going on Seville. I'm Lana Young and this is John M.
Hello.
And we are really excited about our next guest.
Very.
Casting director, the casting director in town, chair of the Charlottesville Virginia Production Alliance. Say that 3 times fast.
CVPA, CVPA, CVPA.
He's such a cheater. Anyway, it's Erica Arvold. Hi, Erica.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. I know you're a busy lady.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
extraordinarily busy. How do you do that?
I don't know. Someone asked me the other day, are you a morning person or a night person? And I didn't quite know how to answer it. and then someone in my office said, no, she's an every time person, all the time, nonstop. And I thought, really? I do crash, but at like 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
3 a.m. to 4 a.m.?
I'm exaggerating.
Please tell me that's not the secret to success.
Yeah, please don't.
Oh, no.
No, I do sleep, and I have been going nonstop since January, but for really good reasons. So
good. All right. Well, I know that our viewers are really excited to hear about the casting side of your business. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. I come from a casting background for approximately 20 years now.
Wow.
I need a facelift.
Did you start when you were 3?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I got into casting accidentally, as all casting directors do, frankly, and was trained by an amazing woman in Chicago, Illinois, and we did everything from theater to television to film to PSAs to commercials to voiceovers to, the whole gamut. And then when I moved to Los Angeles, I started out in half-hour comedy, and learned all of the actors, and that was, to me, the best way to learn the working actors. Of course, you knew the names on television, et cetera, to make lists. And that was quick. It was a little quicker than my natural pace is creatively, and so then I started getting into features. So the first feature I worked on in Los Angeles is a movie called The Horse Whisperer that Robert Redford directed, and then I realized that probably was my natural pace in terms of 10 weeks to cast a project, luxurious in this day and age of independent films where I could have 3 weeks. And I worked on another film called Gods and Monsters that was a very independent film that 3 weeks, I had 3 weeks to cast it, 60 roles. It was insane.
That's Jarko.
But I loved it.
Jarko. Steve Jarko, right? Yeah.
So
that's fantastic.
But anyway, so that's what I did. I went to Goodman School of Drama, so I automatically am madly in love with actors, and I think you have to be as a casting director. And I wanted to be in the business. I am incredibly visual. I've been a painter since I could finger paint nonstop. I do that always. It's my therapy. And
like oils or
I paint giant acrylic canvases, mostly monochromatic, but they are all over my house, my parents' house, my sister's house. They just come out.
You're full of surprises.
You still do it now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a studio.
Mm-hmm. We have a big space that needs to get filled.
Hey.
Okay.
Well,
you can do it between 2 and 3 a.m. before you
they're my babies. My paintings are really my babies too. I mean, I've never sold one. I actually have refused. Which is really silly for an artist to say, but I'm not
maybe
interested.
Maybe it's the retirement plan.
Yeah, maybe that's the retirement plan, exactly. But they have been in several movies that I've worked on. They asked to use them in films, which is really kind of fun.
Amazing.
But anyway, and so when I came here, I honestly stopped casting. I had a baby. I raised a son who's now 7, and I thought I wouldn't really go back to casting. I thought that was something you only do in Los Angeles or Chicago, and I didn't realize there was a market here. And there is absolutely a market here. It is not huge budget films all the time, but it is sometimes. And then on a day-to-day basis, it is corporate videos and some commercials, and I've helped on several theater productions. There are amazing theaters in this town, and it's been wonderful. And the agents that I've gotten to know and the actors I've gotten to know are not only in Charlottesville, but throughout Virginia. Virginia Beach has an amazing area full of talent, and the DC Baltimore area and North Carolina as well.
Excellent.
What brought you to Charlottesville in the first place?
My husband.
Isn't that always the case?
Mm-hmm.
Follow in love.
Exactly.
It's a happy story.
It's wonderful here, isn't it, though?
It is. It's amazing here. And I didn't know I could expand the way I have, because honestly, casting for 16 years until I moved here, I was in a box. I put myself in a box, and I think people do in Los Angeles. I mean, when you do a certain type of feature film, no one even thinks you can do an hour drama. I mean, it's a really specific, you all know because you're from there, and it's a very specific thing. And here, I not only cast, but I started producing, and I write, and I have been expanding, and it has been amazing. And now when I do go to LA, because I probably go twice a year realistically for movies that are being shot here, and if they need some name talent, I will go to Los Angeles, have sessions, be there for a week, and come back, and everything else is via phone. It's really simple. And if I get the powers that be on the phone that represent a certain actor, a manager, an agent, no problem. It doesn't matter where I am.
You get the best of both worlds.
Get the best of both worlds. And I have it on my terms, which is really luxurious. Really luxurious.
Yeah, that is luxurious. So I know that the viewers are dying to know how one breaks into the biz. And
as what role?
As an actor,
okay.
Let's say actor. And what not to do in an audition.
Okay, usually actors, when they say, how do I break in? I say, why are you an actor?
Good question.
So why are you an actor, Lana?
Oh, you're asking me now. The interview has changed.
Yeah.
Well, Erica,
I'm used to this seat.
I am an actress because I love to tell stories. And I like to find truth in other people's stories and try to represent them as best as I can.
And what else would you do besides acting if you had a choice?
Probably host a television show.
Yeah, don't kid yourself.
No, no
that.
chance. Okay, maybe teach it. I need to be in the industry.
Okay, so there you've just said it. I need to do it. I don't. Most people, if they have a choice, I say don't be an actor.
I agree.
If you have to be an actor because for some other reason you are compelled to do it and you have to do it and that's the way you express yourself and you feel a need to do it, then that's your number one baby step. Then you start working. It doesn't matter if you are in your house doing monologues in the shower or going out and auditioning for plays or being in school plays or getting together with a group of friends and writing scenes and taping them. And now technology, you have cameras like anywhere and you can, and you just start doing it. And then once you're feeling comfortable, like, I want to pursue this more, you go out and you take classes and you find mentors and you find people you want to act opposite, because acting is a one-up. Once you start playing with someone that's on your field, you always rise to the best actor. You raise the bar. Exactly.
That's great advice. That's really great advice.
And you always have to have fun. I mean, kids in particular. I have seen children whose parents bring them through auditions, and they are sadly not so interested in the audition because it's by themselves in the audition in a professional setting, and I'll say, do you love acting? No.
Ah, dear.
And I say, then.
Cut!
Yeah, exactly.
Next.
No, you've got to be a kid.
You have to love it. You have to want to do it, like you say. You have to need to do it. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Let's talk about the CVPA. You are the chair of the CVPA. How did that happen?
Well, that happened over about 5 years. It's actually fairly simple and also, of course, complex. When I moved here, I really sought out fellow filmmakers. I had a community in Los Angeles, a professional community that I thrived in. And while I loved being here for all of the appropriate reasons and in love and child and family life and lifestyle and all of that, I really honestly felt like I was missing my creative tribe, if you will. And so I spent a long time having meetings. Even when my son was in preschool, I remember someone saying, "What did your mommy do?" He said,
she has meetings. Brilliant.
And so anyway, I would have meetings, and I got to know the film, acting, creative theater group throughout throughout Charlottesville. And at the same time, a woman named Ann Chapman, who lives in Richmond, who's another casting director, we discovered each other again because she had been an agent's assistant and I had been a casting assistant in Chicago 20 years prior.
Wow.
And we had talked to each other on the telephone all the time.
Amazing.
For a very finite time. And then she moved to London, I moved to LA, we just lost touch completely. So we became fast friends when we re-met here. And she was then president of the Virginia Production Alliance out of Richmond, which is the headquarters for the state. And I was telling her about the community I had discovered here and how I had wished that there was some sort of infrastructure that could be provided if the talent or actors or filmmakers wanted to access it, so that there was a little bit more of a direct line to legitimate meaning Hollywood professional programs or films or whatnot. And I think that there are tours in this area who are brilliant, and they are in their cocoons and they are creating amazing art. And I didn't want to displace that or say that didn't matter. I just wanted to provide a piece of structure or infrastructure that if they so choose, they could access that if maybe they wanted to go a different route in their career. And the reason I thought there was a need for that is because those are the calls I got. When I moved here, I just got call after call after call from writers, actors, directors, filmmakers.
Needing to fill that need.
All saying, well, how can we go to LA? And I said, I don't think you have to go to LA. There are ways that you can, cultivate your craft in this more kind of traditional Hollywood manner that you can do right here. You don't have to jump in the car and drive across the country. And so Anne and I were talking about that, and she said, you have got to be part of the VPA. That's part of our mission, is to unite film, video, audio, and new media. And I took me 5 years to actually agree.
That's fantastic.
Agreed.
But you did.
But I did, and I only wanted to do it if there were people out there who I respected as artists and filmmakers and actors who were going to support it. And so for 5 years, those meetings, I very gently, essentially found out that I thought maybe there was a need for it. I wasn't positive. Even when I started it a year ago now, I came on board and started, the wheels turning officially, and we didn't have our launch party, our premiere party, until March 1st, 2010. So, I spent a few months doing that, and I really thought 5 people would come to the launch party.
And how many did you have?
200.
That's amazing. Now, I would love to sit here and talk to you all night about this, and we'll have to have you back to talk more about this. Well, there's just so much to talk about with you. But just quickly, to wrap it up, can you tell our viewers any resource information, contact information, website?
Oh, yes. The Charlottesville chapter of the Virginia Production Alliance, cvillevpa.com. The VPA headquarters out of Richmond is filmva.com.
Okay. I think we'll get it up on the screen for you.
And in terms of if there are any actors and they want to submit their pictures and resumes, which I'm always open to,
Great.
The address is ericaarvoldcasting@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
All together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Erica.
You're so
for being
welcome.
here.
Thank you for having me.
And
you guys are great actors too, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I call you the talent part.
All right, well, stay tuned. Have you ever seen a Harpo Lynn? Have you ever seen a one-string wash bucket bass? Well, you're about to, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.